Hello, my name is Darden Braun, and I'm a senior at Atlanta Classical Academy. Today I will be briefing you on my essay entitled Words of Leadership: How American Leaders Have Used the Founding Fathers as a Source of Ethos in Their Important Speeches. Now, throughout my time at Atlanta Classical Academy, I've had a number of fantastic opportunities to lead groups of students or other individuals, whether it be in the Airplane and Rocketry Club or in student government or in programs outside of school. And throughout that experience, I've learned that leadership is not so much of a character trait, but rather a set of skills that can be learned and applied in order for one to influence people to accomplish a mission. And because of that, such a great experience I've had learning how to become a leader, I wanted to spend my semester studying how people become good leaders, how the people that we remember in history as great citizens became the leaders that we remember today.
Well, I started this essay knowing that I wanted to focus on leadership. My approach to doing this evolved throughout the semester. I came to the conclusion that there were two ways to influence or lead others: by using one's actions or by using one's words. I chose for this essay to focus on words of leadership. I wanted to analyze how leaders used their writings and their speeches to influence others and motivate them to focus on achieving a common goal. To do this, I began reading significant numbers of documents and looking for similarities between how leaders spoke and wrote when they were looking to influence others. I hit many dead ends as I looked for commonalities in how speakers spoke, whether they used certain phrases again and again or how they structured their essay. But ultimately, I began to see a pattern emerging. This ultimately led me to asking the question, what are effective ways that American leaders use to direct their followers? I began by reading nearly 100 speeches from throughout American history. These were speeches given by presidents, like George Washington's farewell address, Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and George Bush's remarks to the nation following the 9/11 terrorist attacks. I also read the remarks given by military leaders, like General Dwight Eisenhower's Orders of the Day and General Douglas MacArthur's address to the people of the Philippines. I even read speeches from some of our great social leaders, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Lastly, as my project continued to develop, I referenced Aristotle's book Rhetoric. Using this text, I gained an understanding of the classic model of persuasive address. I gained an appreciation for the principles of ethos, logos, and pathos, and how speakers use those devices to persuade others. I then used this model to compare to the many speeches I had read, looking for similarities that might develop throughout American history as leaders seek to motivate and persuade their audiences. While reading Aristotle's Rhetoric, I learned the importance of ethos and how speakers can employ it by attaching their authority or ethos to the events of the past. I saw how leaders referenced ideas such as liberty, equality, and democracy in their speeches. It seemed as though American leaders would give their speeches authority and thus power to influence people by equating their goals with the goals of the American Revolution. Thus I arrived at a thesis stating that by basing their speeches in ideas fundamental to American identity, such as liberty, independence, democracy, peace, leaders gain a source of ethos by basing their goals in the American Revolution.